Okay, by your own admission, Temba, you have 19 kids. Tikabatanza my twins in brackets, Vanita 21. The obvious question is that not expensive? You know, looking after 21 children, what's your source of income? How do you look after those kids?
Listen, my source of income is that I was a tobacco player. I was probably the biggest indigenous tobacco player in the year 2006 to 2007, where I generated, at least we got about 4 to 5 million kgs of tobacco, which was about 10% of the national tobacco in the country, being a bag player. That's how I made my money. I'm a great farmer myself in terms of the yields which I get and so forth. I invested in a number of properties and all that. I've continued to invest in the monies I get. I do consultancy outside Zimbabwe with many countries, political leaders and so forth and all that, and business consultancy as well. So I'm grateful to God that I'm able to sell at least 120 cattle per year to take care of certain things for my children if they're missing and so forth. But the truth of the matter is that I'm quite comfortable. I won't lie to you. My wealth can be accounted for at the end of the day and all that. And that's what is important at the end of the day.
You are obviously a beneficiary of the land reform program. So there has been criticism thrown at you about the way you took over your current farm. I believe it's from the Parsons family. Sorry, what mu frame. Apologies. Okay. The way you took over the farm. I don't know. I think I read somewhere where you were apologizing for some of the violence that took place. Can you briefly talk about that? The way you took over the farm?
No, the way I took over the farm, the persons we agreed. There was no violence there. The violence that was there really was the violence between my workers, myself, the police, and the army. We then were involved in a fight because that farm, many people wanted that farm. The late Runawashe wanted that farm. The former Minister of Local Government, Chombo, wanted that farm. So they had these security people protecting it at the end of the day. The land reform was violent itself. I never beat anybody up. We were arrested because we were involved in a fight in Nema Police and Nema Soja. Chete, not Newarungu. But I never at all was violent. The people on that farm, the Ostuzans, I'm very close to. I still talk to them up to today and so forth. So the land reform itself, for it to be violent, there was no need for it to be violent. There's no need for violence at the end of the day, and I apologize for that. But in us reclaiming our land, yes, we needed to also reclaim our land. And I got that letter through the right channels, which was the land reform, and which was the fast track land reform, which was there. So violence for me never works. That's why even when you go to Rungwe West, I don't believe in violent politics at the end of the day. I believe in persuasive politics, in developmental politics. There's no room for violence in whatever we do. A lot of people say, oh, Temba is violent and so forth. They've never seen me fight. Can I be honest, Lance? I'm an Aikido-trained person, martial arts. And my training can disable somebody in 10 seconds. I've got 5 points which I've been taught to target. And you've never seen me disable anyone. But of course, if you attack me, I'll defend myself. But because I was involved in rugby, I do boxing, I do martial arts, everybody says Temba is violent. Who's ever seen me being violent? And probably I speak passionately as well. I have a stutter, they think Ani Asha. But no, my mode of training, I only have to attack when I'm attacked. But in attacking, I defend
you obviously had a lot of accusations thrown at you from a lot of farmers in the area. Kuti, you were taking their equipment, selling it off, Mombe, selling them off. Address those allegations for us if you...
I went to court. I went to court on all these allegations, Lance. I went to court and I was cleared. I paid for everything. Out of the over 70 charges I have, every farmer that I bought from appeared in court. And they were asked by the magistrate, do you know this guy? Yes. Why are you here? It is the police who told me to be here. Did you put a report? No. Did he pay you? Yes. So if I stole Mombe, Mombe 1 is 9 years. And Nandine Mombe 2000. Makore mangani. Are you with me? So some of these things you've got to understand. I went through the courts with them. Every case, I went through the courts with them.
Okay.
So if the court has cleared me, they've given evidence, then why do you say that I stole anything?
Okay. No, these are allegations that we are putting
I had some
to
money
you.
in England. I had to borrow some money from my mother. I paid them their money and so forth. So if you really want to go through the court records, they are there.